Hey guys, what's going on? And today we are back for some F1 2020 league racing. So this is going to be my first ever league race, as you probably saw in the title of this video, and we are driving in TSRL in the Renault. We are in tier 6 of 9 in this season of TSRL, and we are going to be going, we're just going to be trying to perform as well as we can as we are going out to begin our first lap in Q2 because due to lack of people, we were able to just skip Q1, so we go straight to Q2, going around the final corner for our first lap, and we're going to stay on board for this. I'm going to take you around a lap of Australia, so braking into turn 1 just before the 50 metre board, taking all the way over the curb on the inside and the outside, and on the outside of turn 2 as well, getting close to the curb, but you don't really need to get on it. Braking late just when you see that black box in the light box. Again, the power as soon as possible, making sure you get all the way over that curb, but don't run too wide, making sure not to touch that curb, keeping that flat out on the inside there, and then going all the way over that curb, and on the exit curb there, that probably could have been a little bit better through there. Take that a little bit more aggressively. Coming into this next corner here, I'm going to take not get on the sausage curb, take as much curb as you possibly can, and make sure you get on the curb on the outside. Try not to get too squiggly on the exit as we get onto the sort of curving middle straight. You want to keep it quite tight through there, make sure you're not moving the steering wheel too much, and take a tight, nice line through the chicane. That was an awful run through the chicane, and I still, even with all the practice I did for this race, no idea how to take that chicane like consistently. So yeah, making sure you get all of the curb here and on the exit as well. And now coming through the penultimate corner, this tough hairpin there, making sure to get just a tiny bit on the curb and taking the final corner flat out. Just a little bit before, not using enough curbs I probably should have, and coming around the final corner, it's going to be a 21.3, which is going to be the fastest lap before the session. But we're going to be the only person who's done a lap so far, as now we're moving on to our second lap in Q2, which we were actually 3/10 up, and we invalidated there. So we're just going to come straight back in to the pits now, and go out for a third run here on a new set, as that one was actually on an old set. So making sure to take it slow, make sure we've got a gap, and before we get into the lap. But because of that, as I was going slowly through there, the car tyre weren't really warmed up, and we're going to lose the back end through the final corner, and that's going to give us front wing damage. And I'll just have a look here as we go through turn 1. You're just going to see, yeah, we're really not going to be able to set a fast lap with that. We're already 7/10 down. But the first lap was enough to make it through. Some guys going on a set of mediums, which the medium to hard strategy is slightly faster than the soft to hard, but not by enough for me, because I really was sort of worrying about if I was even going to make it out of Q2, so I just decided to go with softs. Anyway, moving into Q3, and as you saw there, this is actually going to be a threat of rain session, so we're going to really need to get a lap done now, as at the start here, before the rain comes down in this qualifying session. So we're going to be the second last driver out, which is Ferrari behind us. We're actually going to let that Ferrari past us at some point during the lap. Yeah, as you see now, we're the last car on track, so we've got the most grip of anybody doing this lap now. So again, going through turn 1, we're going to stay on board throughout this lap. Much more curb at turn 1 than we did last lap, braking even lighter than we did at the black box on this lap. Getting a tiny bit on the curb, probably could have gone a little bit faster through there. Getting a little bit on the curb, but not on the exit at all, and holding it completely flat. Actually, we lifted off just a tiny bit through there, where we should have probably kept it flat out. Attacking that much more, using all the curb on the outside, as Hush's sets of 120.1, which is my PB in time trials of 120.1. Getting braking much later into that corner there, using all the curb on the exit, keeping the steering wheel tight to the inside here, and using all the width as we come into change. We run a little bit wide through the first part as TSRL Morgan, so it's a 19.9, so that's a very quick lap. So we probably would have lost a little bit of time there, but yeah, making sure we use all the curb, turning very early into that corner, getting on the curb on the exit as well. Again, it's the same story everywhere. You want to use as much sort of curb on the exit as you can in a lot of these corners. Again, taking this flat out mostly with a tiny lift before, all the curb on the exit. It's a much quicker lap than the first one. And what is it going to be? Is a 120.5, so that's 8/10 faster than our Q2 lap. And that's going to be enough for third, but as we move into our second and final lap here, because we did invalidate a lap, or this might be the invalidated lap. I'm not too sure, but I think we did go out in the middle of the session, but we invalidated that lap as we do come through the Mills first sector here. Now we're up. We were up in nearly 10th as we lose a little bit of time through there, but we're up by sort of enough to sort of justify as we're really attacking this corner, using all the width. That's going to gain us a lot of time. We're up by a 10th now on this lap, coming into the middle sector, using all the curb on the width and the exit as well, taking that much nicely. They're gaining nearly a 10th, so definitely much nicer that bit there. And then yeah, I think we invalidate this lap. Oh wait, no we don't. But yeah, so we're just gonna play a bit too much speed through the chicane and just losing the back end over the curb. Just checking for damage, and luckily we don't have any, and these tyres aren't too worn. So after a cool down lap, we're actually going to go out again. We should have enough fuel because I forgot to take any out before the run. But we're actually just going to lose the back end. Can't do turn one, trying to carry too much speed, trying to push too hard. And yeah, at the end of really our session as TSRL Morgan goes even faster, the only man under a 19.9. And you might have saw at the end there, but that lap wouldn't have been quick anyway, as it actually began raining as I came back to the pits on that lap. So not much. I mean, I definitely could have gone faster. As we have a look at the setup there, we're going to go out for the lap, for the race itself now, making sure we've got the setup on, the strategy. If you didn't see just then, we actually, although we edited the soft to hard strategy, we actually have the soft medium strategy selected, and I didn't know this at the time, and I was planning to do a soft to hard one stop, and that isn't going to be what happens in the end because of this mistake. I don't even know if you can call it that, but anyway, we are in 5th place on the grid as we see Safe Crave having a bit of a visual glitch there with one of his, I believe that's 2 of his tyres fall off the car there, and everyone was in fact having this glitch, and it was actually because he had an incident in quali. But going for the race now, we're going to 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and we are away, held for quite a while there. We should hopefully get a better start than TRL Kime, who's on the mediums, but it's actually Notgel and Safe Crave who get a really, really good start. We have to sort of let them through, and so does Freddie Watts. But a little bit of contact with Notgel is going to send him flying in this race. As Notgel breaks a bit earlier than I was expecting, so we sort of have a look to the inside, but we're not close enough as he sort of fishtails out there, making sure we still take this flat out as Safe Crave finally finishes the move on TRL Kime, as Notgel's going to dive up the inside and make contact with the other Haas. So he has now made contact with both Haas's and sent them both spinning. As we're going to try and get up the inside into here, and he's just going to turn in on us. We're going to lose the our front end plate, and we don't see it from this clip, but CET Tadpole, who was the car just behind us in the Alpha Tauri, he also lost front wing from that incident because because of our spin caused by Notgel. He was also affected by that, and he lost front wing, and his race was pretty much ruined by that. He came, I think, 10th in the end. But we're just going to lose it over the curve on lap 3 now, and make a lot of contact with AMS Jaffa there as he loses his front wing. Then it's going to be a 5-second penalty for us, so that's really, really not good for our race. We lose a position to Mad Grajek as well. Luckily for us, we didn't lose any front wing damage from that, but AMS Jaffa did. And luckily for us, he sort of realised, I was talking to him about it over Discord after the race, he did in fact realise that as we lose the back end again over that curve and lose position to Zizou, so we're down to 9th now. But yeah, I was talking to Jaffa in the Discord afterwards, and he was sort of saying that it was a racing incident, and it was like a mistake that I made, and it wasn't really anyone's fault. It was a bit of a racing incident. Anyway, now coming on to lap 5, we're going to see TSRL Morgan, the pole sitter, off to the side there. Luckily for him, he hasn't DNF'd from that incident, but he has got some quite severe front wing damage. Also, news, I've actually held off publishing this video just for a little bit because of the news that has happened with Notgel. So for causing those collisions as he retired from the session as we come into the pits, I think it was a lap or two earlier than I was expecting because of that front wing damage. Because of that, he has actually received a 10-second time penalty for Bahrain, which will be the next race, which will be tomorrow. It will be streamed live on my Twitch, which is Balerafox, just like my Xbox and everything, as we have to serve our 5-second time penalty. Exit now. But yeah, he's going to have a 10-second time penalty added onto his race time for causing multiple collisions. So that will be the collisions that he caused with both Hasses and myself and CET Tadpole, as well as perhaps some others later on the race after my incident that I don't know about. Anyway, coming out of the pit lane, we are just in front of AMS Jaffa, who we did make that contact with a few laps ago. But on this new set of soft tyres, which I wasn't exactly expecting to be on, we should easily be able to defend that position and stay ahead for this part for now. So what that means is as Freddie Watts, who is behind us, retires, as we set a purple final sector as we on this lap, which we've just come out of the pits, and we're really going to push now this lap. We really do need to push on these soft tyres, as I think we're going to stay on board for this lap, because this is going to be my fastest lap of the entire race. And so yeah, we really do need to push, as we set a purple first sector. We need to push because obviously we're going to be making more stops than most people in this race, an extra stop. So to beat the likes of SV Ranzi in the McLaren, who hasn't stopped and started on the hards, as we set a purple middle sector as well, so really pushing on this set, as well as perhaps some other drivers in front of us to maybe grab a higher points position than 9th. We're really going to have to push because we're going to be making that extra pit stop. As we come through the end of the lap now, we've been really pushing through this lap. We've had 2 purple sectors, and it's going to be a 1:23.6 as the only sector that isn't purple is the final one, which we did purple the previous lap. So now moving on to lap 10, we're going to get our first track limits warning and our second, both on the same lap, really disappointingly, as we see TRL came and also one of Ferrari's Mad Grajek, that is, make their pit stops. We're going to come out in front of TRL came, but behind Mad Grajek, who's going to be fighting with the McLaren of Ramsey, who is the host for this race, for our tier. So yeah, we've got 8th position at the moment, but TSRL Tier I'm not expecting to stop again. The same goes for AMS Jaffa, and the same goes for Mad Grayek. Ranzi, I am expecting to stop again. He hasn't stopped again at all in this tyre race. He started on the hard tyres, the only driver to do that. But coming through the middle sector now, we get our final track limits warning. And that's going to be a 3-second time penalty. So after this, we were much more clean. We realised we made some mistakes and we stayed clean, but that's going to be the only penalty we get for this entire race. But now catching up to Cosmics, who has disconnected. He was actually fighting for the lead of the race with his Williams teammate Hushers. And we've also caught up to Grayek and Ranzi. Well, Ranzi, and in the process we've caught about 2 seconds off Grayek, who was actually fighting with Ranzi. So we're going to be trying to make an overtake here on Ranzi for 7th place, but because our tyres have really started going off about now, and also because of we've been slightly held up on this lap, we haven't really been able to push as much as I would like. Time has actually got within DRS range of us on this lap, as we get right up close to Ranzi, less than 2/10 separating us, about 2/10 in fact, as we're going to really need to make this overtake as Cosmics joins back, so that position might not be forever, that 2-second penalty, that 2-second thing, as we are going to be able to pass Ranzi here on the straight. An easy move there with the DRS and the overtake, and not really any issues here, as we've caught up to AMS Lloyd now, who I believe has made a mistake somewhere in the last couple of laps. He's been lagging as well as Cosmics, as we easily get past him there, pulling out just after the chicane, nearly losing our front wing there, as he took it much lower than I was expecting. I was actually planning on coming in this lap, but we're going to hold it 1 lap extra because we made that overtake on Lloyd. I was expecting to be held up and just make that stop, as we get another warning but not a penalty on the curb there, as we really lose it, as Kym's going to get past us. We're going to make it difficult for him. He's going to be locked up and forced to go around the outside, but at the same time I don't want to make it lose too much time, because we are stopping on this lap. So definitely good work from us there, as we come into pit lane. 37 miles here at Australia, one of the slower pit lanes, as we're coming in for our 2nd pit stop of the race. Ranzi still having not made a pit stop, as I actually forget, I was expecting a bit of a longer pit stop time there, and we lose a little bit of time there on the exit, because we lost concentration just for a second, and didn't go quickly, so we've lost a little bit of time there, as we come out in 9th place, as Jaffa makes another stop onto mediums, so presumably he's going to be going for maybe a fastest lap run or something like that. So we're in 9th at the moment, but Lloyd there's yellow flags for him in sector 2, so as Pete passes him as well, and I believe he's in the gravel trap, and there he is. He teleports back to the track just as we make our way past, and that's going to promote us up into 8th, as now on lap 19 of 29 we're going to see SV Ranzi and Pete 77 F1 both making their stops, which is going to promote us up to 6th. So at this point I was a little bit wondrous of the strategy at the moment. So in front of us we've got the Haas of TSRL Tier, Save Crave, who's making a pit stop here. So perhaps he's got some damage and he's going to come out just in front of us. And then towards the front of the field we've got Zizou in the Mercedes, Hushers in the Williams, and also Mad Grajek in the Ferrari, who's fighting with TSRL Tier for third, the final podium spot. So we're going to come out right behind Safe Crave, still having this visual glitch in that racing point. And
the battle for the final podium spot is going to be the most interesting one between the Ferrari and the Haas. Oh, and there's a crash! It looks like Grajek has lagged. He's lagged into Kame, and now Kame has got front wing damage. He might as well stay out, and I think he should have fourth, but that is such a disappointment for him.
Oh, I'm not sure what the rules are with regard to lag in that situation, but Grajek's car just drove on the line, came out, and as such, Grajek is now going to get what I feel is going to be a very unfair third place.
So yeah, as you saw there, TSRL Tier making contact with Mad Grajek, a bit of a lag sort of issue there, presumably. We're on to the final lap now. We're going to stay on board. The gap is 12 seconds, so doubtless I'll make it up. But if you remember, we have 1 3-second time penalty because we served the 5-second time penalty at our pit stop. Save Crave in front of us has 6 seconds of time penalties. So if we can stay within 3 seconds on this final lap, we will be able to take 5th place away from him. Kime also has 6 seconds of penalties, so if we can get within 3 seconds of him, that will be 4th for us, but I don't think that's going to be possible. But these mediums really going off now, and Crave on his new softs, brand spanking new softs, is going to be really much faster than us, as Hushers wins the race for Williams. As we fall out of the 3-second time range, using all the fuel, we've got Rich Mix engaged, and we're going to be doing everything that we can to stay within 3 seconds. We're going to be using all our overtake, all our Rich, coming through the final corner, trying to hold it as far as we can, using all the exit, and we're going to get the ERS on just a bit early, and we're going to lose it into the pit wall there. Luckily for us, it's not going to be a DNF, and we're going to come home in 6th place with that result there. Zizou, although he's driving the Mercedes in this race as he was reserve, has been transferred to be in the Renault alongside us full time. So that result for us is going to put Renault first in the championship. But that is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you did enjoy, and goodbye.